All right, here we go. Welcome to Jake's Stories. So, this is my YouTube channel where we talk about superhero movies and shows. Sometimes we talk about movies as well, and sometimes I promote my own stories that can be found on jakestories.com. Right now, I've been posting chapters of my book, The Real World. I'm going to keep posting until the entire novel is available on my website, jakestories.com. So if you're interested in a sci-fi novel that deals with superpowers, alternate universes, I know everybody hates that right now, but whatever, then check that out on jakestories.com. There's also some other stories. But today, sorry for my coughing. Today, I'm going to go over upcoming movies, especially superhero movies. Also, some shows, talk about everything kind of going on because we're getting into a busy season and a lot of exciting things are happening. First up, Daredevil Born Again just barely finished the season finale. It was a great show. I have to say, I was kind of disappointed how it ended. It did feel kind of like maybe another episode was needed. We're just kind of setting up for the finale in the next one. I see what they were going for. It was good, but I don't know. Didn't quite hit the mark for me. Overall, I really like the show. A lot of great action, a lot of great story. I know there are complaints about people from people who didn't like so much dialogue and story. I don't know why. The original series has a lot of that and action, and this series has that as well. I would say it's not quite as good as the original series, but it's right there. It's right up there with it, and it's a lot of fun. A lot of great story details. The bank episode was really great. I don't normally like these episodes that veer off and do other things, but that one was really great, and I liked that they brought in Miss Marvel's dad. That was fun. And Muse, the whole thing with Muse, yes, he kind of didn't last very long, but he served a good purpose. He was a good villain. I don't know if it's in the comics or not, but I did like that he had Taekwondo, so he could put up somewhat of a fight against Daredevil. It's very interesting. We've got Matt's girlfriend who doesn't like vigilantes. There's a lot she doesn't understand, but also you got Matt who is fighting these criminals, and she just takes Muse out with a bullet, and it shows that maybe sometimes you just need to use, whatever you need to use, whatever means necessary to protect people. But if Matt goes around as Daredevil with a gun all the time, then he's definitely going to be in a lot of trouble as a vigilante. So it's just very complicated, very compelling story overall. It's continuing with the Netflix tradition that Netflix started, with that's based on Daredevil, the comics. But yeah, it's just really great. Kingpin, of course, being true to his character, just very annoyingly good because he's just so evil. I don't like him, but I love to hate him. He's doing so good. The violence, I don't know. Like some of this stuff, for me, you can imply it and then have it off screen. I know there are a lot of people that really like it. For me, it's like you can use the visual storytelling, the storytelling medium of cinematography and all that to convey what happens without actually showing it. For me, that's the preferred method. That's why shows like The Boys, I got tired of that because it's just too much graphic, but a lot of people like it, whatever. I get it. Like, I don't, but for me, like, I don't want them to say, oh, Kingpin doesn't do this kind of thing, but I just don't need to see it. But whatever. That's not a huge deal for me. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. They set up this whole world. I know they wanted to set it up like, okay, now going into season 2, Kingpin's kind of ruling the city with his task force. And that makes sense. But it does kind of end on a cliffhanger where it's like Daredevil could still go after Kingpin, but maybe because he's injured, things like that. Sorry, I haven't been scrolling. Let's look at what other people have been saying. Surprising release date, but they have been working on Daredevil season 2, and they announced that it will be next year. So, I mean, that's really cool. That'll be good. Hopefully, we'll see more Punisher. We'll probably get this Punisher special in between now and the next season of Daredevil, I'm guessing. Karen came back, so that was really good. Foggy, it sounds like he's not going to make a miraculous comeback unless we, integrate the multiverse. Speaking of which, even without the multiverse, just the MCU, like where's Spider-Man, where's Miss Marvel, where's She-Hulk. The biggest one with that, I would say, is where's Spider-Man. And I get it. Like, I get why he's not there. I just hope that, in maybe the new Spider-Man movie, he's, he's obviously in New York, but then he's off to somewhere else. He's busy. He's got something going on. I hope that they do something like that, but, it's not necessary. We need to suspend disbelief a little bit, I guess. Maybe. But yeah, I am curious to see what happens next. So yeah, that's Daredevil. And yeah, I'm trying to remember how they left off with Bullseye in there. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so let's talk Thunderbolts. Okay, I actually haven't watched the latest trailer, so I need to do that. But there have been so many trailers, so much promotional material. It looks cool. I'm already convinced, so I'm not really in a hurry to watch this latest trailer because I just want to see the movie, and we're very close. But I don't blame them for doing all these trailers. They're trying to hype it up, and they're doing a really good job. They don't seem too desperate about it, which is really good. Red Guardian, hilarious. All these characters are really good, and it will be fun to see kind of these misfits at each other. What are they going to do against the Void, against Sentry? I mean, who knows how this version of Sentry is going to work, but, obviously Sentry and the Void are the same essential person in the comics. So will they maybe disconnect from one another and Sentry can help fight the Void? Do they need to, talk it out to Sentry or the Void so that he stops destroying the world? I'm really interested though, like what kinds of things they're going to be able to do, because they do have great powers, but compared to Avengers, they're not really gonna, make a dent. It's like if you look at the Defenders, some of them have kind of powers. But, I don't know, someone was talking about how the Thunderbolts, what if they showed up in New York, the task force go after them. The Thunderbolts, especially all of them together, the task force doesn't really stand a chance against all these guys together. You've got super soldier, super soldier, super soldier, and a few other powers mixed in there, and just like assassin. So I mean, it might be a good fight, but the Thunderbolts would win there. But yeah, against Sentry, like they're just way out of their league. I mean, even the Avengers Endgame Avengers versus Sentry. That's kind of a big battle. He's kind of a Thanos level threat. Of course, they could change that in the MCU, but he's a pretty big threat. But yeah, it'll be fun to see all these characters interacting with each other. They all have fun personalities, so really looking forward to that. Um, Now I forget if Superman or Fantastic Four comes out first, but let's just keep it with Marvel right now. Fantastic Four just had their new trailer out. Just did a trailer reaction for that. We got the Silver Surfer, the woman Silver Surfer, which I don't remember her name. She's in the comics, and yeah, I don't know. Look, the trailer looks really good. I'm glad to see Galactus kind of walking around. Oh yeah, one thing I didn't address in my trailer reaction, which I felt stupid for, was the fact that Sue Storm is pregnant, and probably with Franklin Richards, who has incredible powers, reality-altering powers. Are we gonna see, the kid in this movie, or is he just gonna be born at the end of the movie? Do they end up in some other world? Who knows? But I do think that their child, probably Franklin Richards, is going to play a part in Secret Wars, if not Doomsday as well. Didn't see any of the Thing and the Human Torch at odds with each other, but these are just trailers. There's only so much you can put in trailers, so we'll have to see if anything like that happens. I did like that they put Reed Richards, did some sort of science experiment thing or something that caused this issue, possibly made Galactus or the Silver Surfer aware of their world, and that's why they're in trouble now. Also really like that it seems like we're just coming into it already established. The Fantastic Four are the world's heroes. I like the idea of all of these different heroes, this world of different heroes, but that's cool. In this world, Fantastic Four, and they're established, they're the heroes. That's pretty cool. So yeah, let's see over here. Yeah, there they are. This looks a little modified. That's kind of fun. But yeah, there are these astronauts, there are these heroes, and this fun. I like how this world gets to have kind of its own design, because it's kind of the 60s, but it's also kind of futuristic. Got the Fantastic Car. So that's really cool. Got the Thing cooking. I wonder, if it tastes a little rocky. I don't know. Sorry. Everything. Yeah, we still don't know exactly what John Malkovich is going to be doing. There's a lot about this movie we don't know. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. And there's probably something that I wanted to say, but I'm forgetting it now. Of course, anything about these movies, these shows, please comment below. Please, I'd love to have discussions, about these projects that get us excited. Let's see. Hopefully, you don't hear my neighbors yelling in the background, but maybe that's more exciting than my video. No. In the Fantastic Four, they have these really cool powers, so it'd be cool to see that in action. Of course, we need a really good story. We've been hoping and begging for a really good Fantastic Four story for a while. Like I said though in my reaction, I enjoy the other Fantastic Four movies. The 2015 or whatever, not so much. I do want to give it a rewatch. But yeah, we need one. There it is. We need one though that is just really good. We need one that knocks it out of the park, that really gets these characters, this story, and I think this is gonna do it. But speaking of established superhero worlds, I'm so happy that they've decided to do that for the James Gunn Superman movie. This is kind of what I wanted them to do before, or at least I've just thought about this for a while, that they should just start off, he's already Superman. He already knows about other heroes. I wouldn't even be surprised if there already is a Justice League, and they just kind of they get together every once in a while, they communicate, they keep in touch, but it's not like they meet up every single week or maybe even every single month, but they just keep in touch, and who knows. That's I haven't heard anything like that, but that could be cool. But yeah, just everything we've seen. I guess I gotta remember to breathe. The robots at the Fortress of Solitude, I like those. It's kind of fun. Just everything, it just looks like a fun new take, some things that we haven't seen before. But the basic element of a Superman of hope, and Man of Steel brought hope in its own way. And honestly, I really like Man of Steel. But I'm so looking forward to a new take on Superman as well. And I think this is really going to be it. And I still need to watch that new thing that they brought out today about it. The underwear. I'm not really a big fan of keeping with the underwear, but maybe they'll address it in some sort of fun way. Maybe they'll just pretend it's normal. Who knows? Yeah, and then Hawk Girl and Green Lantern. Which Green Lantern is it? I forget his name right now. But yeah, we're gonna be getting a bunch of heroes in there. And some people think, oh well, this isn't a Superman movie, but it's like it's all centered around him. In every movie, there are always supporting characters, and a lot of them, and just these superheroes are just not going to play as big of a role as they would if it was a Justice League movie or it was their movie. But they play a role, and it's all about Superman's journey. And let's see. The dynamic with Lois and Clark looks promising. We haven't seen a lot of it, but what we have seen looks promising. I'm just excited. James Gunn, he brought us Guardians of the Galaxy. When I saw that, going into it, I had no idea what that was. Came out, one of my favorite Marvel movies. So I have a lot of faith in this, and I'm excited to see it. Crypto looks fun, and who would have thought, Crypto wouldn't be like my first choice to involve in a Superman movie, but it looks like he's made it work. Heard rumors that Crypto is actually going to belong to Supergirl, and he's kind of just watching him So that could be fun. But yeah, Superman, and then the whole thing, I don't know, people are freaking out. The Superman's in pain when the sunlight is shining down on him, but sometimes when you're healing, you're in a lot of pain. And especially the faster you heal, you would be in pain. So it makes sense to me. Not everything has to be exactly comic accurate, and there are very different versions of the comics. Maybe in one comic this happens, another thing this happens. So it's not, I don't know. It looks good to me. I'm excited for it. And let's jump over to other stuff going on. I think that's all the superhero stuff going on, at least in the imminent future. So Minecraft, that's been pretty crazy. I thought it would be busy. I didn't think it would be this busy. I definitely didn't think that we would have all this craziness with it. It's really a shame that a lot of the Minecraft fans are just very idiotic, really inappropriate, just way too loud. It's like to the point where I think other audience members, can't really enjoy it. Like, yeah, if you want to get excited, you want to shout and stuff, a little bit of that is great, but it seems like too much. And then people bringing live chickens, I think that just happened once. But fireworks, things like that, throwing popcorn. This isn't like a concert, this is a movie. It's a different kind of thing. So I think this says a lot about, what's going on, but it's also kind of, this is going to dissuade other people from seeing Minecraft, I think. So far, though, it's been doing really well. So maybe not. Maybe people are really curious to see what happens with the crazy fans. Anyways, excuse me. The Amateur, didn't see that one. Heard it's all right. It's pretty cool. That's another, it's like people say original movies don't come out, and obviously it's not like a completely original concept, but it is more original. What I like about it is that it's PG-13, because a lot of these original movies coming out are always just rated R, and a lot of people that excludes a lot of your audience. Like, I like watching rated R movies, but I also like watching a lot of PG-13 movies, and I think that there should be more original PG-13 movies. But let's see. Sinners, just heard great things about that. Not my favorite genre, horror, but sounds like I might like this one, so I may check it out. Drop, a little of a suspenseful thriller. I'm sure it's pretty fun. Not going to be, in a top 10 list of movies for the year, probably, but that's, I have no idea. I haven't seen it. But looks like a fun one. King of Kings, really good, especially for religious people. I'm not saying it's really good because I haven't seen the movie, but I'm saying, like, that's cool that different kinds of movies are getting made and put out there. Let's see, Thunderbolts, that is not in theaters. So why are you saying that? Okay. Coming soon, yeah, so. The Accountant, too, really excited for that. Looks pretty awesome. Did a trailer reaction on my other channel that I have with my buddy Mike, Butter Pops Reactions. But yeah, Ben Affleck's really great, and then you get John Bernthal with them. Looks like they have a good chemistry going, a lot of action. So I want to check that out. I'm not going to talk about all of these. Just going to talk about, maybe I might just talk about the blockbuster ones, Those are the ones I'm most excited for, so sue me. But, I also like a little bit of variety. But yeah, most of these I haven't even heard of. Shadow Force, is that gonna be silly? I might have to check out the trailer for that. Shadow, a strange couple with a bounty on their heads, their son. So it's a couple, and they're like used to be spies and stuff. So I don't know. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a huge year. Honestly, starting right here. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. The Dead Reckoning didn't do as well as people thought it would, or I thought it would. And the movie was good. Wasn't as good as I don't know, was hoping for, but I thought it was really good. It was really solid. I watched it again recently. Still great. Then we're going to get Lilo and Stitch. I think those two, wow, that weekend's going to be huge. Lilo and Stitch looks fun. Interested to see what they do differently than the cartoon. So yeah, Aladdin 2. Where did that come from? Like, is that a real thing? Is that they've just been keeping that under the radar? That is really crazy. I don't know who put that there. If there's any validity to that, that is insane. And probably not the best weekend to have it on. Honestly, you're really full there with Mission Impossible and Lilo and Stitch. Karate Kid. That one looks kind of fun. Check that one out. Let's see. I need a drink. Ballerina, did a trailer reaction for that, also on Butter Pop Reactions, and looks pretty fun. I don't know. It's a spin-off, so yeah, it does have a lot of Keanu Reeves, supposedly. But it's not John Wick, so it's not the main franchise. Who knows how well it will do. Could be a fun little action movie, though. 28 years later, people excited about the zombies. I'm still not huge into the zombies. Elio looks fun. Maybe a little kiddish, but I think there'll be some stuff, some humor that adults can enjoy as well. Let's see, I think, okay, Megan, yeah, I haven't really jumped on the bandwagon for that. Jurassic World Rebirth. I haven't really seen anything that gets me super excited. I mean, I love dinosaurs, love Jurassic Park, the whole franchise for the whole time. The last one turned me off a little bit, but you've got a good group of actors here. You've got, looks like a fun story. I don't know, it just depends on how they execute it. Superman, we talked about that one. It's gonna be big. Okay, so Superman's first. Fantastic Four, Naked Gun. Got some fun stuff. Finishing out the summer, the Naked Gun remake. That might get me to watch the original one finally. Freakier Friday. I think there's a good group that's excited about that, and I think that's kind of fun. I'm glad that they're doing that. Hopefully they took the time to really come up with a good story and to get that team back together. And the Toxic Avenger, I don't know, with Kevin Bacon. Okay, that's funny. Oh no, that's kind of sad. Horrible toxic accident transforms downtrodden janitor Winston Goose into a new evolution of hero, the Toxic Avenger. Okay, so this is I might need to watch the trailer on that one. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I mean that's really, once Fantastic Four hits, that's kind of gonna be the wrap up for my summer. But of course, gonna be watching out for any good little movies throughout the year. Like all the genres. Okay, well, horror not so much, but sometimes. Sometimes might be checking out Sinners. But yeah, that's kind of it for today. Let me know what you guys think about all these movies. I guess the only show we talked about was Daredevil. Now I am watching Severance for the first time on Butter Popped Reactions, but that's, we're just on episode 2, so I need to catch up. We need to catch up. But that is it for me today. Let me know what you think in the comments about all this stuff. What are you excited for? What are you excited for most? What are you excited for? Everything? What are you scared about? You think these aren't going to work out? Yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.